In this video, we're having a look at a probe lens for iPhone from Sandmarc. Hi, I'm Lee. Welcome to the channel. I hope you're having a lovely day. So, as you may have noticed, this lens looks a little bit funky, but also it allows you to do some really creative things. So let's get a few details off the bat. This is $349 US, so it is a fair chunk of change. Having said that, if you are the type of person who's looking for one of these, I think it's definitely well worth having a look at. So what a probe lens allows you to do, first of all, the reason why it's called a probe lens, it is proby in its shape and form, but it allows you to do some really interesting macro shots. So it's not something that you would use all the time, but it really does allow it allows your creativity to kind of roam around and enjoy things. A little bit of the specs. So it has a 16mm focal length, and so it's sort of the equivalent of 16, which is actually quite wide. And what that allows you to do is, so even when you're getting sort of really close into things, the image is still quite wide and you can still see a lot of what's going on around sort of like your center point. It's got some really clever features. It comes in this nice little case. Probably don't need that. So it comes in this nice little case with a USB cable and a cloth for cleaning it and a carabiner. So you got those things that come in the case. With the lens, you also have a front cap, obviously. So that is your front cap, and we'll get into what those things are around the lens in a moment. And then you have a back cap. I really appreciate, even when people are making lenses for phones, the lens has a back cap, because not having a back cap, things can get gunky and all that kind of stuff. In terms of how you attach it to your phone, when you order it, they will ask you which phone you're ordering it for, and then they will provide you with a specific case for your phone. So I have the iPhone 16 Pro, and so this is the case for the 16 Pro. Some other lenses from Sandmarc, in fact, I think most of the other lenses from Sandmarc do also come with a little clip. So if you do want to connect your lens, you don't have an iPhone or the specific case, you can use a clip. This lens does not come with the clip, and I'd imagine the reason for that is because when this is hanging off your phone, a clip's it ain't going to do the job. So to attach it to the case, really simply, you just pop it onto your main lens and you screw that down. I've actually found it easier to do it when I'm actually just holding the phone. So there we go. So you screw it on, and there you go. It is on your phone like that. I would support the lens with your hand. I wouldn't sort of hold it just like that. You can. I haven't had any issues with it sort of falling or what have you. It's in there pretty solid. But to be on the safe side, I would support it with your hand. The other reason why you would want to support it with your hand when you're using that is because, and this is something you really need to keep in mind, is that when you're using a lens like this, when you're getting really, really in close with your subjects or whatever it is you're filming or taking photos of, photos not so much, but with video, you're definitely going to notice a lot more of the wobbles. So that is definitely something that you want to keep in mind with this lens, is you want to make sure that you have it either on a tripod. You can handhold it. I mean, for example, I'm going to play some footage now where I was getting some shots outside, and I got very excited because there's some bees around. I was like, oh, I can get in close with the bees. And it's really, but obviously the bees move around. So I mean, I'm not a patient person, at least not for this situation. So I wasn't in a situation where I was like, okay, I'll just leave the camera there and wait for the bees to sort of turn up. So I was trying to follow the bees, and you can see, even though I was trying to hold the camera really steady, it was a bit of a challenge. A nice feature with this, if you're getting particularly close, well, actually, a nice feature is that you have a light on the edge. So there you have two settings. So there's a little button here on the top, and you just push that button once and it turns the light on. So I'm just going to turn it on once, and that's the brightest it is. Then you turn it again, it goes down one brightness, and then it switches off. You also then have a USB port on the side here in order to charge it. Now, behind the USB port, one of the features that I really, really like about this is you have a manual focus ring. So this allows you to manually adjust your focus, so you can get in really, really nice and close, and then adjust the focus to get that focus just right. So that's pretty much like the features of the physical lens. So obviously there's a battery in there for the lights that you charge via USB-C. Talking about keeping it steady, another way to keep it steady, particularly if you're going to have moving shots. So you can have side to side, you can have backwards and forwards. I find the backwards and forwards works quite well. you're probably going to want a slider. And so this is the Sandmarc Slider that they sell. Some nice features about the Sandmarc Slider is very, very light. I'll put down here sort of how much it weighs, but it is exceptionally light, easy to connect to whatever tripod you want. If you're not going to use it on a tripod like on a tabletop, you have these sort of legs that fold out. And what I like about these is, let me just loosen that a bit. What I like about these, you can set them to any sort of height. So you can have this really, really low, and you can also adjust this to bring the legs out a little bit. I should probably move my hand out of the way so you can actually see what I'm talking about. So you can bring the legs out quite a lot. You can see how far that thread will go. So you've got quite a lot of options in terms of if you want to have this sort of solid on a tabletop and have it sort of standing up fairly high. Something that I actually found really useful, because what I'm finding with the lens is that sometimes you don't want to go directly on top of something like that. You actually want to come down at a bit of an angle. Like I was shooting some footage of one of my keyboards, and I found that just going over the top wasn't getting the look that I wanted. So I wanted to sort of be on a bit of a downward angle. So it was really helpful with this slider, is that I could set the one side quite high, and then I could set the other side quite low. And so that gave me the angle in order to get the shot at a slight angle that I wanted while it was on the table. Oh, I should also mention, it does come with a bracket for a phone, so you can easily pop that on there and have the bracket for your phone. I was going to say one thing that I don't love about this, and it's just, you know, sort of laws of physics, is it is a manual slider, so you can't really control. I mean, you can sort of control the movement, so you can try and get it sort of as smooth as possible, but no matter sort of how gentle and smooth I think I'm being, and because the lens is so close to your subject, any sort of inconsistencies in your movements, things like that, is quite noticeable. Now it's interesting because they actually did build something into this slider to try and compensate for that, and that's these two wheels over here. So how this works is you loosen these little latches, and if you take the wheels off, the wheels aren't touching the sides, and so when you loosen the slider head, it just kind of does its thing. But then when you flick them up against the bars, and then you tighten this, and sort of you try and get it to hold in place, the idea is that that gives you a little bit more, it's pushing against it, so it's supposed to sort of slow it down a bit and make the move, make it easier. Sort of if it's pushing against you, it's easy for you to push against it, and that helps you to be a bit more consistent and slow and measured in your movement with the slider. The challenge is, and maybe I'm doing something wrong, so please let me know down in the comments if I've missed something. What I'm struggling with is I've smacked these little wheels into this like as hard as I can, and then I tighten the edges there, and even though I've done that, it's not really, you know, there's a fair bit of gap between them there. It's not really right up against it. You know, it's turning it, but it's not giving me that much tension. Really nice to have, but if you want really, really smooth movements, probably best to get a one with a motor in it that's going to control. I've got quite a few different ones. If you're interested, I can do a review of one of those as well. In fact, the one that I've got, I'm not even sure if it's still available, but again, happy to do the review if you're interested. But yeah, so that is the slider that you can get. This comes separately, by the way. That doesn't come with the probe lens and the case and all of that. The most important thing I think to know about this lens, if you're looking to use it, is just the nature of the physics of it, is it does need a ton of light. So I have found that if I'm shooting indoors with it, I definitely need to set up, you know, quite big lights and have them really, really close, because it's, you know, you want to get a lot of light on it. If you're using it outside in bright daylight, it's actually, it's not an issue at all. But if you are inside, that's definitely something to consider. Another thing to look at is when you're using it with the camera app on your phone. If you're using just the built-in camera app, there is this thing that can happen where basically the camera app on iPhone is trying to help you as best it can, and so it will automatically adjust which camera it's using. If it's going to go to the macro lens, it's sort of default to the wide lens, then you see the probe lens in here and you don't actually, it's not using the probe lens. So all you need to do is just on the bottom left hand corner, just tap on the macro button, and that will tell the camera phone, the camera app on your phone, that you wanted to, just use the lens that I told you to use. The other sort of thing with using the built-in camera app is that you don't have much control over the exposure. So it will, if you're in a dark situation, it'll make the image as bright as it can, and it'll be exposed, but it's generally adding a lot of ISO, which will make your video or your photos very grainy and kind of not very sharp. So you do want to have that color balance. So what you can do is you can use an app like the DaVinci Blackmagic app for iPhone, which is pretty much what everyone uses these days, because you have a lot of manual controls over your camera settings within the app. And what I found very often using this lens is if I was using it inside, even with fairly big lights or a little light but really close, is I found that you might have to bump up your ISO to 500 or even up to 1,000 to get your image well exposed. That's generally though in a sort of like a wide shot. What I did find, like I took some test shots down the barrel of my Synology there, and so what I found with that is, because like I couldn't get a light in there, I took all the hard drives out and then I got a light in there. But if I was just going down sort of one channel, there was no light. But the light on the front of this was perfectly fine in terms of, because it was bouncing off the things that were really close to it. So it didn't have to go too far, and that worked quite well. So what are my overall thoughts on the probe lens for iPhone from Sandmarc? Well, I mean, obviously, one of the first things people generally notice is the price, and that is a fair chunk of change. But if you are in the market for something like this and you're looking for something different to do with iPhone, and particularly, I think, the place where I'm going to use it, I think, is pretty obvious, is I'm going to use it for a lot of product shots. So I do product reviews, and so I'm looking to try and show these products in a slightly different and creative way, and maybe something different than someone else might be doing. Now, probably a lot of people who do reviews have got a lens like this, and so that's how they get a lot of those shots. But yeah, I'm going to find it exceptionally useful. I apologize if you don't like those shots, because I think I'm going to be doing a lot of them with a lot of the products that I do. But yeah, so product shots, I think, no doubt about it. If you are looking to do just something different, something a bit creative, this is the thing, like you get this lens and you start, like your mind starts going, and like, oh, I wonder if I can do that. I wonder if I can do that. I wonder, and I mean, some of the creative stuff you'll try and you'll go, nope, that was not a good idea. But that's the beauty of being creative. So look, this may not be for you. I don't think it's for everyone, but if you are in the market and you have the budget and you're looking for something to sort of help spark a little bit of creativity, I think the Sandmarc probe lens is definitely something that you should sort of put in your list of considerations, because yeah, I'm excited about what I'm going to start doing with this creatively with a camera. I think I should specify that. Very important. Anywho, I hope this video was helpful. I hope it was useful. If it has been helpful or useful, please like and subscribe to the channel. Let me know what kind of videos you'd like to see, or any sorts of products in particular you'd like me to have a look at. I think, again, I suppose I should, probably my approach isn't, when it comes to cameras and things like that, I do know a lot about that, so I am giving a fairly educated opinion, I think, with this type of stuff. But with a lot of the other things that aren't sort of photo or camera related or video related, my approach is to sort of take something that I don't know a lot about, or I know a little bit about, and give sort of like a layman's terms, just an everyday person's perspective of, oh, cool, I got one of these, I was thinking of doing this with it, how does it work? And this is sort of thing. So please appreciate that. Be kind in the comments if you would, because yeah, we're all working stuff out. Anywho, if you have already subscribed to the channel, thank you so much for your support, and we'll catch you on the next one. Safe and happy probing. Oh, thank goodness I pushed record. So I think, how do I? Yeah, see? No, that is what it is. Okay. Oh, geez, I'm blinding myself. That's not smart. That's not good. I can't do that again. I'm not doing that intro again. No, I am, because I stuffed it up. Probe lens from Sandmarc for iPhone. Hi, I'm Lee, welcome to the channel. I hope you're having a lovely day, and I'm slightly blind in my right eye right now, I apologise. So, that was a silly thing to do. iPhone, and if you know what it is, you know what it is, but if you don't know what it is, that's a really silly thing for me to stop messing this up, because you really can't do that eye thing too many times. Your battery's gonna die, change batteries. So I was originally gonna open with the shots coming out of my mouth, which I'm playing now, and I just went with maybe that's not, not everyone needs to see that. I thought it'd be funny, I thought it'd be interesting, and if you've hung around, you're seeing it now, so you're welcome, or I apologize, whichever is appropriate, but yeah, there's a thing.